Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. You know, guys, the goal of this channel has always been to give you the alpha you need to make informed decisions. Now, I have a financial background and I do my deep dives for me, and I share what I uncover with my community. So therefore, when I uncover uncomfortable truths, I share with you. Now, I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear. And guys, do with this information as you will, but if you're doing well, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, I want to get you out of the 90% of people that lose money. And it's videos like this that gives you that alpha. And we may not make the most money, but I truly believe videos like this will save you money and help you get a better understanding of what you're investing in and help you make better decisions and hopefully get more profits. So hit the like button, because in this video we're going to talk about 4 powerhouse tokens that people don't really talk about. They don't have a lot of hype and excitement. But I find most people haven't zoomed out and haven't compared the best, most dominant, most adopted projects out there. And a lot of people are investing on information and excitement and hype from 2 or 3 years ago. Guys, now that we have some regulation coming, the big boys are here, the banks are here, Wall Street's here, they're rolling out their tech. And quite frankly, guys, they have all the customers, all the power, and cryptos are not stocks. They're just software and code, and they're open source. So, that being said, if you're going to hodl and you think your favorite altcoin is going to change the world, at least you should do is zoom out and compare and go from there. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about in this video. So did I say hit the like button? Hit that like button. Okay, guys, I want you to think about something. There are a lot of tremendous companies in the world, right? You got Walmart that makes a ton of money, that dominates. You have, some of the car companies like Toyota. But when you really look at stock investing, there's the Magnificent Seven. And if you take those out, most people would be getting wrecked in stocks. Those 7 projects prop up the entire stock market, especially the NASDAQ 100. You got Alphabet, which owns Google, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla. Guys, that's where all the money is being made. Well, we are starting to mature as an asset class, and that's going to happen in crypto. And unfortunately, a lot of the projects do not have a token. Because, guys, Wall Street's plan is to create this tech, use this tech to make a ton of money and roll that into corporations and launch those corporations like, say, Circle did. And then you're going to have R3 Corda and companies like that go public, like Coinbase. And there's an immense amount of money to be made because they control everything and they have all the money. Retail is just exit liquidity. So if you understand what the big boys are doing, you have a fighting chance to make a lot of money. I'm extremely bullish, but my thought process, my strategy has totally changed, and we'll talk about that. All right. Now, guys, outside of that, right now, the fear and greed is still down, and it should be. Most people have been getting wrecked. And hopefully, guys, the people that you've been listening to that have been telling you it's altcoin season, FOMO in for 3-4 years now, you might want to stop listening to those guys and just find someone else. You don't have to listen to me. Find someone else that will tell you the truth and give you the downside to this tech and the reality of what we're dealing with. And maybe find someone that will explain tokenomics to you. Because here's some alpha, guys. no matter how phenomenal you think a project is, if it prints money and it doesn't accrue value for the token holder, it's not going to make any life-changing gains. And if it pumps, you better take some profits because it's set up for you to be exit liquidity. If you understand that, you're probably good. All right. Right now, guys, we're having a good day. But I believe this is short covering. Because, guys, you know, crypto is man to man. If you lost $1,000, someone made $1,000, right? You lost $1 million, someone made $1 million. Well, most people that have been making money in the last week have been shorting. Well, guys, when you ride that investment down, you have to buy it back to make your profits. So when the smart money who's been shorting, buy it back, boom, we get days like this. Now, that doesn't mean we can't take off from here, but my guess is this is just smart money covering, and you're getting like a bounce because they had to buy it back. All right, before we dive into those 4 projects, I just want to bring something to your attention. In my last video, we talked about one of the shorts I just put in on the inner circle. Merle, M-E-R-L. And we've already shorted it one time, but look at this thing, guys. It was ripping on a red day, and we put it in our inner circle, and look what happened. This is it. Now, we shorted this like a week or so ago. Look at that. Then it starts pumping again. Why do you think it's going to keep pumping? Bad tokenomics. I don't trust the founder. It's a Bitcoin staking protocol. Wall Street's not going to stake their big boy money on a protocol like that. They don't trust it. They don't need it. They don't want it. So knowing all that, why is it pumping on a red day? It's manipulation. Big boys just manipulating. People go FOMO in. Oh, here we go. And it dropped 33%. Guys, on 10x leverage, that's 300% on your money in a matter of hours. For whatever that's worth. If you want to learn the short, we'll talk about it at the end. We've already talked about the Magnificent Seven. Okay, here's the alpha and the point I really want to bring to everyone. Every one of these projects sounds sexy, especially when they get some influencers behind them and they tell you the lies and the misinformation and tell you what you want to hear. And you're like, yeah, this tech's going to change the world. My favorite altcoin is going to change the world. You'll see. You just wait. Okay, but guys, if you were going to invest pocket change, have at it. Who cares? Flip a coin. I mean, I'm from Atlanta. The Falcons probably never going to win a Super Bowl. They've let me down. I bet on every Super Bowl that they went to, which I believe is only 2, and we got wrecked. But if I was going to invest some real money on who's going to win the Super Bowl this year or this next season, I am not going to bet on the Falcons. I'm going to get on, I would get on a plane and run around and talk to every coach, watch them scrimmage, watch them play, and then decide who's going to win. There's only one winner. And crypto's going to be the same way, guys. If you study the 2000.com to people that are older like me, this is like deja vu. The majority of these projects are going to disappear. They don't make any money. They don't have any utility for us. They have utility for the people who created them, who use them to dump on you to grow their business, or who uses their supply to create services. They make an immense amount of money, then they go public and make an immense amount of money. But the token is pure speculation. Cryptos are not stocks. Basically treat them like commodities. Right? Here's some alpha, guys. If you invest in, say, lumber, which I used to be a commodity trader, lumber can go up and you grab your profits. But if you want to make money from lumber and you bought a stack of lumber, if you build a house, that's where you make the money. That's where the value in commodities are. Treat cryptos like commodities. Now, that being said, when we're talking about comparing, no matter what, let's talk about real world assets. If you think that one of your Dino tokens, XRP, XLM, Algorand, HBAR, are going to take over the world and dominate real world assets, okay, but compare it to the competition. because Wall Street got together and built this powerhouse called the Canton Network. And guys, if you add up all the adoption and every positive trait of the Dino tokens, all those tokens we mentioned, even Ethereum, this project has more adoption already than all of those combined times 100x. It already has $6 trillion of real world assets tokenized on its blockchain, and it's just getting started. No one wants to buy the token. And guys, whether you buy the token or not, when you compare, it beats every layer one almost in every category. Period. Check it out, compare, and then you probably won't hodl the tokens that you own. Now, that doesn't mean they can't pump, but it does mean you need to take some profits. So compare Canton Network to any other project, and you'll laugh at some of the stuff you hear people saying. Now, let's talk about LINEA. You know, the whole world was excited about XRP is going to take over SWIFT, XRP is going to do this. And the ISO tokens, wait, flip that switch. What was it, November the 11th? You just wait, prepare, billions, Lambo. Well, then SWIFT came out and said, we're going to partner with Consensus, which is a company going to go public, which is a phenomenal project. They created MetaMask and LINEA. Well, SWIFT came out and said, we're going to use Consensus and Ethereum with LINEA. So if you were bullish on any of the ISO tokens or XRP, how are you going to not buy LINEA? LINEA dominates every ISO token. Maybe you could justify against Link. Two different things, though. All right, so all I'm asking, guys, I don't care what you buy. I really don't. I short all this stuff on pumps. I'm doing okay. I understand it. But if you compare, you'll get an understanding, and then you'll understand how many people lie to you and are selling you a pipe dream for that Lambo you're not going to get if you're not comparing these projects and if you think that those hyped up tokens are going to change the world. Okay? What's another project? Coinbase. This is the type future, guys. It's a public company. It created Base. Well, Base is a layer 2. It dominates. It prints money. So why would you possibly invest in like any other layer 2 that competes with Base, like OP or Arbitrum or any of them? They have bad tokenomics, and Base is the OP stack. They cloned it. It's software and code, and it's open source. Coinbase said, we got all the customers, let's create a layer 2. Now, if we're lucky, they're going to launch a token. They've been talking about it. Now, I know that LINEA is a layer 2, but that's different because they have a partnership with SWIFT. They're going another route. You don't use LINEA for just everyday retail. It's an institutional sell, and it's going to be settling on Ethereum. It's like a partnership. It's a whole different ecosystem. All right. Now, guys, here's what I want to bring to your attention. I promise you, if you compare Circle's new layer 1 ARC, if you compare it, you'll start to think that projects like XRP, Algorand, and all of those are becoming obsolete because it beats all of those tokens pretty much in every category that you measure. It's faster. It has more liquidity. It's faster. It's more liquid. It is free. And it doesn't need a bridge token. Now, that's just one aspect when you're talking about payments and RWA and stuff like that. But I just watched a podcast from some of the top developers. Guys, it's off the chart. This tech, when I hear people talk about, and I say this with love, guys, I really do. But when I hear people talk about like Algorand and XLM and XRP and what they do in their future, it's actually laughable. Because, guys, These are all layer ones. You can settle on any layer one. They can all do the same thing if you chose to put, whether it's gaming or payments or whatever. But ARC is backed up by JP Morgan, Bank of Mellon, heck, the Fed, BlackRock, the powerhouses, Goldman Sachs. They got together with USDT, who is Coinbase owns like 50% of their revenue. So they all created this new layer one, bigger, faster, stronger. But guys, that's just one aspect. They came out with a thing called the ZKML Gateway for payments, for micropayments. Guys, check this out. You know how like the future is robots and AI? Well, it's all going to be decentralized, so that the AI, people are going to not really, they're just going to monitor it. Well, they're creating payments where their AI on ARC through Circle using USDT is going to be like using Uber. Like, you know how Tesla and Woohoo or whatever that other Uber is, that self-driving cars, and all the robots talk. They're going to all have their own wallets through ARC using USDC. USDC to me is the powerhouse. That's just one new thing they have. Guys, they're working on a project where they're going to self-insure like those cars. And if you have a wreck, the AI will go through, look at the camera, decide who's in fault, and just cut you a check or send you a USDC. It's settled. They are implementing, you know how like, well, you got to be compliant for payments. You got to do this. You got to do that. They're putting all that together. They're working directly with the regulators for KYC compliance, regulation compliance, privacy, audits for the IRS. All of that is on the blockchain through ARC Layer 1. They have a partnership with Base, depending on the applications, to partner with them for settlement. They have their own instant settlement, liquidity pools, all that. Guys, they have like their settlement is like 0.07 seconds. And they said we're getting faster every single day. We're just getting started. They have AI memory system storage inside that layer one. Because think about it. Those robots, the AIs, they all got to store their memory. Well, why would you need to go out and use something else, like maybe say ICP or something storage, or Arweave? You're not going to. It's all right there. They are built to dominate. So what's going to happen to the rest of them? Maybe they get their share, but they're probably going to disappear. And the reason I stress all this is if you understand the game, you'll probably start to short, but either way, you'll take profits. And you definitely won't hodl these shit coins. You couldn't pay me to hodl an altcoin. None of them. Period. Why the risk reward doesn't make sense when you could go buy something like Circle, who prints money and accrues value. All right, they're getting in shopping, banking, history tracking of all your purchases entirely. They're setting it up where you can have complete control over your data. All these things these other blockchains are starting to do, and you're like, wow, that's great. This is great. They're doing it all on one blockchain, and they're building it to dominate. And if you don't think so, guys, they have all the customers, period. And then the customers, these big Wall Street firms, are going to be buying Circle, the stock, period. I wish they had a token. But again, guys, two things you need to understand. Coinbase doesn't have a token. That means the token is just speculation. ARC, Layer 1, is going to be one of the most powerful, dominant blockchains out there, just like JP Morgan's blockchain already is, or Stripe, or Visa's, all those. They don't have tokens. That means it's speculation. That means you're trading like a commodity. If you speculate on gas going up, well, when it goes up, take your profit and run. You don't hold the gas futures. I know I'm getting on my high horse, guys, but these things are powerhouse. ARC is already getting into dominating gaming because they want to set up gaming where you make money in micropayments and all this stuff where they batch it together. So it's faster, cheaper. They can track all that stuff. It's actually fascinating. I know no one wants to hear this, but guys, if you're not comparing, here's some alpha and that I really want everyone to understand. If you are going to be an investor and you hear a sexy story and you want to invest short term or use low leverage or short it or whatever, have at it. I get it. I play the game. But if you're going to invest with your hard-earned money, especially real money, and look to hodl, wouldn't you want to say, well, that all sounds sexy until you compare it to ARK? I promise you guys, compare any RWA or payment token project out there to ARK, and it won't compare. Now, there's Solana and maybe a few others you compare in other sectors, but there's nothing else touch this new tech. And the reason no one knows about it or talks about it or thinks it's amazing is because there's that disconnect between crypto, we hate banks, we hate Wall Street. Well, guys, no one gives a shit what we care about or what we think. We don't have the money, we don't have the power, we don't have the customers. So you can think, XRP, XLM, or Algorand or whatever is going to take over the world, but it's actually laughable. SWIFT has a game plan, guys. And when people talk to you about the stupid numbers and market cap, market cap doesn't matter, it matters. SWIFT moves $150 billion a year, $5 billion company. JP Morgan moves 11 to 16 trillion dollars a day. Their ledger moves like $20 billion in the repo market. They have instant settlement. It's about an $800 billion company. So when someone tells you one of these, altcoins are going to hit $100 trillion market cap and it doesn't matter, they're just out of their mind. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. All right. Again, sorry to get on my high horse. That being said, guys, I'm doing a video tomorrow, but I want to talk about this, another powerhouse project. I'm going to do a deep dive and do the video, so if you haven't subscribed, do so. But it's called Rails, RAYLS. Look, a blockchain for banks bringing 100 trillion to 6 billion bank customers on chain. Some big boy ex-bankers, powerhouse players. We'll talk about that. Already has almost 400,000 followers on X. No one's talking about it. Guys, you got to keep up with the game, keep up with the tech, keep up with the power players, keep up with the regulation, because most people are filling you full of BS. All right, that being said, guys, if you want to learn to short, I truly believe I have the best shorting course on the planet. And I want to build the best, smartest crypto community for shorting out there. People that actually know what they're talking about. And as you can see, guys, we don't short on red days. We short the pumps. We short the all-time highs. We short the positive news. It's nothing like what most people are going to tell you. But again, 90% of people lose money. So I created a course. It's only $250. You get my entire strategy. You get a Zoom call with me. And then to make sure you understand the strategy, then you get 5 months of my inner circle. Guys, I hope that $250 will pay for itself 1,000 times over the years. Now, if you want to learn to short, reach out. Now, if you need some help with your portfolio to get a game plan, whether it's to finish off this year or go into 2026, I got a portfolio course. It's the same price, $250. You get 18 videos, walks you from A to Z, everything you need to know and understand to build out a game plan and get a strategy that meets your risk tolerance. You'll understand market cap, you'll understand tokenomics, how to compare these projects, how to dollar cost average in and out. Then you get a Zoom call with me. We go through your portfolio. You get 5 months of my inner circle. Or you can just join the inner circle. Now, that being said, guys, I'm extremely bullish. This opportunity is amazing. But it's not like the put in $1,000, buy an altcoin, wait for altcoin season, and get your Lambo. I don't believe in that. I think that's over. I think the cycles are over. But I do believe that 99% of most of these projects are going to disappear. They don't serve a purpose. The world doesn't need them. Wall Street has it covered. The banks have it covered. and the tokenomics are set up for you just to be exit liquidity. They cancel the project disappears, they make a ton of money, and they move on. But the opportunity is great. If you learn to get on the right side of the equation and you start making money, you can go into stacking Bitcoin, going into stack projects like Circle. R3/4 is going to go project. Consensus, who created MetaMask and LINEA, they're going to go public. Guys, the opportunity is immense, but again, it's not simple. It's not easy. This asset class is maturing. The big boys are here, and you got to be a lot more sophisticated, and you at least have to understand the game and quit listening to these people that just tell you what you want to hear, and you keep coming back. Guys, if you're doing well, keep doing what you're doing. If not, maybe reach out, get a different game plan. All right, guys, hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe, come back, because we're going to have a good video tomorrow with that new project that just launched. All right, guys, take care.